All right, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Bryce Young possibly swearing on Saturday as he was getting chased around all over the place in his preseason debut against the Jets. 3 series were played by Bryce Young in his first NFL game. He completed 4 of 6 passes for 21 yards. But what happened to him was the thing that they thought
people
he'd be
get scared
able to
of.
figure out how to avoid.
Right.
He got hit.
Right.
And with a guy that size, physics are against you.
Yeah.
The more you get hit, Chris, the more likely you're going to get hurt. They got lucky.
Right.
But you can't assume that luck is going to hold for 3 weeks of the preseason and 17 games of the regular season.
Hey, like we talked about a minute ago, I mean, these teams aren't perfect, right? There they are. They're trying to find their way. They're playing a team like the Jets that was a borderline playoff team, had a playoff roster last year. They're deep as hell on the defensive line, right? Offensive line still a work in progress for Carolina. But, yeah, I mean, these are the things that scared us with Bryce Young, right? Some of these hits right here where you go, ooh, that is some big hit. And honestly, I was shocked there wasn't a penalty called on that one for the first pick of the draft. Yeah, this is what we worry about, whether he can take these type of hits on a consistent basis and within that make the throw down the left sideline, and a back shoulder throw. I know he's going to be able to wheel and deal and find little holes and completions over the middle. What we still have to see is when those aren't there, right? Some of the plays we saw at Alabama, like we saw the other day, when that's not there, can he make some of those power throws on the outside with the pocket collapsing and hang in there and really make the throw with consistent accuracy? Or is it going to become, I got to protect myself here because I'm really small and those hits are going to, take a toll on me? It's a good start, a good experience. I know it was nothing special, but it's like we talked about, the learning process. Now he's going to get a feel for the speed of the rush and everything that, he'll need to improve on for the next appearance.
Yeah, they've been very impressed with his processing,
Right.
and they believe he's going to be able to get rid of the ball quickly. But that's the thing. If you get rid of the ball too quickly, the receiver's not ready for it. The defensive back is. It's going to go incomplete. You can't rush it. You've still got to allow the play to develop and then get rid of the football. You can't get rid of the football before the play is ready for the football to be distributed to whoever it is that is intended to catch it. He was hit on 3 of his 7 dropbacks. Let's have a listen to his head coach, Frank Reich, and Bryce Young on the hits he took from the New York Jets defense in his NFL debut.
I thought he took the one big hit. Obviously that first hit was pretty big, right? I mean, that first hit was pretty big. I asked him on the sideline after, kind of in the second. I waited till the second half. I said, well, that was a pretty good welcome to the NFL hit. How'd that one feel? And he said he was fine. He said he barely felt it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the game, of course. Football is a physical sport. You're going to get, it's part of the job description. You're going to get hit, and that's the game we play. So it's part of the job. You know that's coming. So can't let that's not something I think of. Can't let that affect your decision making or what you're going through. So for me, that's part of the game. It happens, and I'm just focused on the next play and trying to make sure I execute every time I get a chance to out there.
When you said you were surprised on that first hit, a flag wasn't thrown, it tells me that you've been sufficiently warped by the nothing the passer calls that you would expect a flag on that. And this is where I think the officials try to draw the line. They focus on the defender, not the impact that the hit has on the quarterback. It's the technique of the defender. It's what the defender does. Is he dropping his body weight? Is he doing that scoop that was an issue several years ago where they would burp the quarterback? That's what they call it in the football parlance. And there's certain things that you just know it when you see it by what the defender does, that it's a technique that is prohibited. The impact of a legal hit on the quarterback is what they ignore, just like Tua Tagovailoa getting thrown to the ground as he was trying to throw the pass against the Bengals last year on a Thursday night. Some would look at that and say, well, that has to be a penalty. But if you look at what the defender did, no, it's not a penalty. The only reason it looks like it should be a penalty is because the quarterback is too small.
Yeah.
And the quarterback got thrown down by a clean legal hit. So that's what I think the issue is. We're going to see a smaller quarterback, and the impact of a legal hit on him is going to look far more devastating than it would on a bigger quarterback. But I don't think they're going to throw the flags on them.
Well, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. But, hey, let's play that first clip back again if we can, Courtney. I thought the first one, again, I saw less egregious ones called this weekend that what made me want to lose my mind. So that's where I've been
There
changed.
is an element of driving into the ground.
That's
is an element of driving.
That's to me what it was. Is the drive? There's no bracing or trying to stop the dead weight on top of them. That would have been my big question there, right, Mike?
Look at the tail end of it, though. I see the arms on the first hit. If we can show that again.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
We're at a bad angle.
Yeah, he tries to get them out. I hear you.
It looks like he throws his arms out. And if you look at where the referee was, and I think the referee was in a position to be looking right at it, the referee can see that motion where as he's going down, the arms go out. I don't see where the referee is, but as he goes down, from the angle that the camera had, and obviously the camera angles for preseason games are far from ideal, but watch the arms at the end. See, you can't really see it because there's bodies in the way, but he puts his arms out.
Yeah, no, I mean, he tries. And listen,
and there's see where the referee's standing back there? He probably saw the arms come out.
Yeah, you know me. I'm all for that not being called. You're right, though. This is something we'll have to watch with guys like Bryce Young or the smaller quarterbacks that get in football. I think because of their size, there'll be a lot of legal hits that get called as like unnecessary roughness because of the size of the player. I don't think there's any doubt, right? We've talked about that in the past where we go, wait, we see Josh Allen or Mahomes get hit the same way, and they go, well, you're a big sucker, you'll be okay. And they don't really care. And it doesn't look the same as far as the body whipping around and all that because they are much bigger men. But, hey, either way, Bryce Young, it's a great experience for him. He got to see, even without some of their starters in there, he got to see one of the best defensive lines in football. So he's gonna get he'll have a good gauge after a week of practice against them, that game there to go, wait, okay, that's next level defensive line. They are able to have depth and fresh bodies. And like you said, hopefully now he can gauge, okay, wait, if I do get pressure, you start to process things in the fact of where can I get the ball to my hand quickly, safely, right? What position do I got to get my body in some of these throws to make it happen? Or where do I have to move in the pocket? And that's where he's going to learn from that experience. But it wasn't easy. And that Jets D, that Jet D is the real deal. When you talk about their first-round pick, McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, the first-round pick from last year, and you look at all the pass rushers they got, damn, are they deep on that defensive line in New York, and they were all over, Bryce Young. It was hard for him to get any rhythm because they were so all over him.
That's one of the things Aaron Rodgers is most excited about. He's had offensive head coaches his entire career. Now he's got a defensive head coach with a potent defense, maybe arguably better than any defense he's had in his NFL career right out of the gates with the Jets. And, even with 4 offensive linemen starters for the Carolina Panthers, the Jets were able to get through. And it's not like it's a bad offensive line.
No, it's not a bad one.
It's a pretty damn good Jets front.
Yes, it is. It's a really good Jets front. That's got it all. I mean, it really does. Depth, versatility. They got young, fresh bodies who are still growing and getting better. But there's a lot of potential in that group right there. And, that'll be one of the better D-lines that Carolina offense sees all year. But Bryce Young, again, I don't want to judge any of these rookies too harshly. Right? It's about just getting out there, getting used to the bright lights, getting used to the process of a game in the stadium, game day type of stuff. Now, hey, next week we can, go up another level as far as how we evaluate him and what we expect. And we expect a positive step in the right direction. And we'll see, too, whether they start to formulate some things, too, Mike, where we can't, take this or forget about this. But they were basic in that game right there. They weren't running any, tricky plays or game plan plays. Next week we might see, like we've talked about last week, where they come out, they run a few plays that fit him, or they game plan against a defense that, start to be something of what they're going to show in the regular season to benefit their first round or their first pick of the draft.
I mean, you're only playing a few drives. There's no opportunity for in-game adjustments, no chance to look at the tablet and see what they're doing and how do we react to it. What other plays can we access from our game plan? Do we go off the board and come up with something on the fly
that we
can use to take advantage of the opening that is being given because they're overloading in one area or the other. You don't get that. And you don't get to work out the kinks and get better as the flow of the game goes on. You're there for a limited period of time, and then you're out of the game. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.